cancel me, but I do believe in equality. If men can play, we can too. You cannot trigger his love hormone vasopressin by being easy, nice, or predictable, and you gotta stress this man out, okay? And I'm gonna teach you how using his Venus sign. Girl, if he likes you and if you do this, he will become super duper obsessed with you. And if you want to know his bedroom secrets, his kinks, how to actually seduce him based on his Venus sign, how to flirt with him, bedroom secrets I obviously cannot reveal here, and how to have a long-term successful relationship with your man based on his Venus sign, you gotta select his Venus sign in my bio, girl. I teach you the blueprint. We go in depth. Select his Venus sign in my bio, and I'm gonna give you his Venus seduction blueprint. If his Venus is an Aquarius, you trigger this man's vasopressin if you give him so much space that he actually feels like out of space, okay? You gotta give him freedom, especially when you guys are in a crisis, okay? When you decide to ghost him, when you decide to go no contact with him, he will be triggered as hell. Aquarius Venus men love their space, and if you guys are committed to each other and love each other deeply, and suddenly you decide to, pull back, he will become anxious and hyper attached. So give him massive cold space and go focus entirely on your own independence, okay? Once he realizes that you have an amazing life outside of the relationship, outside of him, you flip his chemical switch. He will try to bring you back into his world, okay? Because Aquarius Venus men rarely ever chase. They are the ones that are being chased, okay? Simply because they are so good at ghosting, and they practice detachment like no other sign, so you gotta be detached. Girl, I'm telling you his Venus secrets in my bio. Select his Venus sign. I teach you the blueprint. Seduce him based on his Venus sign. So many people are pleased with their Venus seduction playbook. Go ahead and grab yours. Leo Venus man, okay? So you trigger his vasopressin, and I don't care what anyone says. You gotta make your man jealous. If his Venus is in Leo, this man needs to be jealous. He literally wants to show you off as his little trophy, okay? And when men stare at you, he will notice it immediately, okay? And it will trigger his love hormone, plus his protective nature. Girl, and if you have a very open aura, okay, if you love to play and flirt, not in a cheating kind of way, but just, you are enjoying yourself, you're flirting with yourself, with the world, you look good always, okay, he will lose his mind, because on the inside he is kind of insecure, and his biggest fear is that maybe there's someone out there better for you, maybe he's not the best. So yeah, make him very jealous and have a very open Libra-like energy, okay? And if you want to know how to seduce your Leo Venus man, select Leo Venus in my bio, girl. We go in depth. I teach you all his Venus secrets. Aries Venus man. Now you trigger his vasopressin if you trigger his primal hunter energy. And how do you trigger it? By not being easy to get. Yep, you are not an easy prey, honey. You literally cannot be the one initiating any kind of plans, okay? If you double text, or if you, just vomit all of your words, he won't be attracted to you. Also, big turn off if you are always available. Sometimes your phone is not in your pocket, baby. Be unpredictable, okay? And bonus tip, if you want to be extra evil, when things are amazing between you guys, okay, when you're very loving and everything is just so fun and hot, you gotta go cold turkey. You gotta pull away. Let him wonder where you went, okay? This will actually trigger his adrenaline. If he doesn't have to fight for your presence, his brain literally is not able to recognize you as the prize. You gotta make him work, and you gotta select his Venus sign. In my bio, girl, I teach you his Venus seduction blueprint. Now, if his Venus is in Taurus, this man usually acts very stable, okay? Both physically and mentally. And you can trigger his vasopressin by actually depriving him of your comfort, of your energy, and maybe a little bit of his resources. Because a Taurus Venus man is literally addicted to everything that is predictable. Also to your comfort, to your touch, to your energy, your sensuality. Give him intense physical affection, okay? These men, they love physical touch, and then starve him. Because when he literally experiences the drastic turn, okay, when he experiences your deep central touch and loving energy, and suddenly you just go cold, his brain begins to panic, and that's when he will release vasopressin. He will literally open up his wallet and lock down a commitment, okay, just to have you back into his life. And if you want to know how to make your Taurus Venus man obsessed with you, select his Venus sign in my bio. Thank me later. If his Venus is in Scorpio, girl, you already know how to trigger his vasopressin, or don't ya? Because you can trigger his love hormone by playing hide and seek. These are very psychological, high-intensity games that you gotta play with this man. He actually thinks that he is the master of mystery, okay? So you gotta out-mystery him. Never master his deep questions fully, okay? Always remain intense eye contact. Don't back away, don't shy away. But keep your personal life actually locked away, okay? Don't reveal anything to this man. You gotta stay a secret. And when a Scorpio Venus man realizes that he will not and he cannot fully reach you mentally, or if he's not able to control your emotional state, he will become completely consumed by you. Isn't that toxic? He will actually obsessively chase you down, okay, just to decode your secrets, just to know whatever you are thinking. And if a Scorpio Venus man is totally and utterly obsessed with you, he will be loyal, like 100%. It's all or nothing. And if you want to make your Scorpio Venus man obsessed with you, select this Venus sign in my bio, girl. Thank me later. And if his Venus is in Pisces, you trigger vasopressin in this man if you become his ultimate, unattainable fantasy. These men actually are in love with the idea of love. But the second reality comes in, life gets boring, life gets tough, and these men tend to drift away. And to make this man obsessed with you, you gotta be completely ethereal, okay, and also kind of hard to reach. You gotta act like a dream, like a fantasy he will never ever be able to fully grasp. I teach you how in my Venus seduction blueprint, by the way. You gotta combine deep, soulful conversations, okay? These conversations have to feel very meaningful, very spiritual, very aligned. But you gotta combine it with sudden periods of complete emotional detachment. And when he realizes that he cannot fully possess your soul, okay, or predict your next mood, because remember, these men are highly intuitive. If he cannot read you, basically, he will chase you down endlessly, okay? Because the Pisces Venus man wants to live inside your soul. And if you want to know how to make your Pisces Venus man obsessed with you, select this Venus sign in my bio. Thank me later. People are loving their Venus seduction playbooks, and yes, they are so freaking helpful. We go